My brother, God can bless anybody. Make you no look down on anybody. As you see me so, no be by power, oh. No be by sense, yo. Nobody special pass. My sister, God can bless anybody. Make you no look down on anybody. As you see me so, no be by power, oh. No be by sense, yo. Nobody special pass. Shebi na God will bless the Maya. Seven God now lift me higher. Nobody believe say could go blow me higher. We know the tire and the work we they do will bring the rubber. Then tell me so many no, but I know they ginger me oh, and I know they give up yo. Oh God, if nobody encourage you, encourage yourself. Oh. That's why I said kerosene, even second coconut. You know, so many they underrate. Ele do my elevate. Baba shame all of them when they hate. My brother, God can bless anybody. Make you no look down on anybody. As you see me so, no be by power, oh. No be by sense, yo. Nobody special pass. My sister, God can bless anybody. Make you no look down on anybody. As you see me so, no be by power, oh. No be by sense, yo. Nobody special pass. Special pass, oh. You see, rain no FIFA for one person roof. Oh, yeah, make I show you the proof. Na put up me a day, oh. Let do my pick in my call. I see for the street. I don't see them see, I don't take defeat. I don't see them see, I don't take defeat. I don't forget when I beg for something to eat. Now I'm living large. So waiting to the garage. Now the same boy with them laugh. Them no say I they brought my graph. Yes, oh. I no go ever lack. Time on not got my back. You must have heard of my story. So I say, my brother, God can bless anybody. Make you no look down on anybody. No look down. As you see me so. No.
We want to say good day and welcome to Family Connection Network, a program that comes here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast, at 11 p.m. Liberian time, and all the times, people who are joining or wherever you join us from at this time, we want to say thank you so much for being here. I got with me today my colleague, Minister Levi Tatos Daniel, and Ben Keto is also here, and we have a very special guest we'll be introducing very shortly. I said, Minister, welcome.
Well, thank you, Brother Paulo. It's a good thing to be here again. You know, this is one thing that we have that much of a passion for. That if we do not see ourselves doing it, we feel incomplete. And I want to say happy Lord's Day to all of our audience out there, and to Ben, to you, and to our guests that will be introduced soon. Thank you.
And to our many followers who are joining us tonight, you can follow us on YouTube and also on Facebook. Ben, how you doing in California, man? It's a very cold day on the East Coast, especially in New York today.
No, it's not cold in California as compared to New York.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I don't have to shovel in California.
All right.
As it used to be when I was in the East Coast. So that's the good part about being on this side. It gets cold, but not like New York. Well, it's always a pleasure, gentlemen, to be with you guys on this platform to share the wonders of God together. You know, God put us together as a team, and we've been going through over, almost 2 years now we enter into. And we've been going through together, doing what God has called us to do, especially on this platform together. So I'm happy to be here, and especially today we have a very special guest that some of us know way back down the line, growing up, who's going to be sharing his ambition, his vision, and his plan of action. Whatever program that he's involved in, he's going to be sharing with us today. So I'm so excited to have that person as our guest speaker that will be introduced shortly. Again, back to you there, brother. Let's just keep this rolling.
As you said very rightly, this is a brother, a young brother, a very determined Liberian young man that's engaged into business. And we are so happy to have him tonight. He's no other than our brother Isaiah Foko, who is the CEO for Trust Capital Corporation. And Brother Foko is here tonight to tell us a bit about himself and what he's all involved in and how he got involved into it. And how can we partner with him to support whatever he's doing. This program is about supporting people, their initiative, and what they do. Isaiah, I want to say welcome and tell our viewers a little bit about who is Isaiah.
Thank you very kindly. I don't know if you can hear me very well, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. All right. Let me first begin by thanking you for giving me this great platform and to be able to talk about myself. I'm quite sure, except for Brother Levi, but the two of you, hey, you guys are big brothers to me, and we look up to you for a lot of things. So I'm grateful for giving me the opportunity to be able to come on your show and talk a little of what we are involved into, you know, as an institution. Maybe to say a little about myself, right? So if I got your question right, it was like asking me a little introduction of who I am. My name is Isaiah Foko. Way back, I used to be, and I still cherish that name. Whoever that calls me that name, the name I'm about to call, that means that you must have known me years back. All right? Amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I give you an A for that. If I
That's what made you the big brother.
Yeah. Thank you very kindly. That's the name Sasmo. So anybody that calls me Sasmo, of course, you know me, and I cherish that name so very highly. So maybe for the sake of our audience, my name is Isaiah S. Foko, please. If you want to call me Sasmo, maybe, I don't have a problem with that. It's a good name to go with, and I cherish it so highly. So, as a way of introduction, I graduated from college with a degree in accounting. After some times, I had to move into work in the corporate sector that has to do with the banking environment in Liberia. Interestingly, I served at the time as an internal auditor, all right, for so many years. After some times, I had to move up to, I saw the need to move in the NGO sector. I also have to work there for a lot of years, okay, a lot of years. And there's something very key that I like to point out during my services in these different institutions of work. I help a lot of people, even folks overseas who have some passion, you know, to get some things being done back here. I was into them, helping them, opening some accounts and serving as a strong internal auditor on their behalf on a pro bono basis. I should say that, right? Yeah. So I had to move on to the NGO sector, like I said, and I worked there for a couple of years. As you may know, in our country, after some years, there was this donor fatigue. And then some of these institutions, I had to close down for that matter. I let down. So after some times, I was contracted by a family to do a piece of job for them. And we did that with honesty, integrity, reliability, and with trust. You know, from there, The time came that my services at that area of work had come to an end, and I had to move on to get what we call today being established as a trust capital corporation. And of
Thank
course,
you.
I'll say much about that because I know there are other questions that are going to be coming towards me.
Thank you so much. Which brings us to the
Thank you very
next
kindly.
matter, right? Let's say you established what they call TCC.
Yes, sir.
The company, TCC, what is this company all about? And when was it funded?
Wonderful. So I'd like to give you a little history behind it. TCC has just had a very short lifespan, but it has left for the shorter time that it has existed. It has left and continued to leave indelible prints on the projects, on every other project that we've lay our hands on. It was established formally, I should say, on August 20, 2021. So you know that we are still young, but don't mind it. We are big to go, right? I don't know if I answered your question correctly. I see everybody going off. I should
Yeah,
be
we're
one
hearing
or so.
you. We can hear you.
Maybe my internet. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Yes, Isaiah, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay. So yeah. So
I don't know if we're having some internet problem with Isaiah. Just to let our many viewers know that Isaiah is joining us from Liberia. And Liberia normally have the issue of internet. And I know we will try to get Isaiah back as soon as he come back to see how we can continue this discussion. But Ben is here. Let's chit chat a little bit, Ben. You know the guest we have today. I know Isaiah is back. And Isaiah, can you hear us now?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Just having a challenge to get you here, but we can.
Yeah. So basically, what
Yeah.
I'm asking is your company, Trust Capital Corporation. What is this company all about? And when was it funded? You say it was funded this year formally. So tell us basically, what are you guys engaged in? And what do
Okay.
you do mainly?
So primarily we are engaged into construction of residential homes. We are involved into the construction of estates. We are involved into the construction of schools, health facilities, public buildings, renovation of private and public facilities, provision, and this is very key, provision of legal advice on property acquisitions. And I want to a little bit expand on that because the previous ones, I know you have much knowledge on that. So talking about the provision of legal advice on property acquisitions, I have come to know that there are a lot of folks who engage themselves into the purchase of lands, sometimes already built structures, and there are a lot of issues that folks don't seem to understand. But trust has come as a bridge in helping folks have those legal knowledge as relates to purchasing these things. And so we have our team of lawyers headed by one Councillor Jomapi Canley. He happened to be the county attorney for Bombay County. All right, so we provide these kinds of services and we are engaged into these diverse programs I just listed.
I know I have my other colleagues I'll be going over to.
Can you hear me?
Before I get over to my colleagues, you told us in your introduction that you are an accountant by profession. How did you get involved in construction?
Yes. Fine. All right. Again, I'm not seeing you all, but I think I can go ahead. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you, yeah.
By profession, I am an accounting, okay? And this one, this one, and to answer you squarely, I got myself involved into the area of construction as a result of a passion of wanting to be of help to a lot of folks. Now, we've in this country, and I know it's not only particular about this country. Can you just give me a minute? Let me connect my computer. Just a minute, please.
Okay.
Signal here.
As that is trying to have his
Just one
computer
second.
connected.
Yeah.
and see whether we can continue from there. And when Isaiah come back, we'll go over to Ben. I think Ben will be in a position to see, because having a guest from other part of the world, especially in Liberia, given the issue of internet, and even the issue of internet, even right here in the United States, it's also a problem. How much for an entire country? Talking about Liberia. Ben?
That is always a challenge. Internet access in Liberia is not easy. You know, for the few that have access to internet services, they still go through this type of hurdles. But as I always say, one is better than zero, right? While it is true that the challenges are there, but at least there are some people that can still get connected. So we hope that Isaiah will be reconnected to continue this beautiful discussion that we started.
Absolutely. And those who following us tonight, if you have a question, please drop us a question on our live field. If you have a comment, please drop us a comment. Because this is all about development back home. People stay in the West, trust family members to build on a home, and they send you photos of some friend or somebody home. He is involved in construction, he's on the ground. If you have concern, I think it will be a very beautiful thing that he be able to address some of this concern. I think, Levi, you been into construction and what have you. So tonight we're talking about how can you trust somebody back home, a company, where you stay right here in the US. You don't have to pay $2,000 a round trip ticket to go and just to go do your own construction. That money could be used maybe for a few bags of cement that could add up to the project if you have somebody trusted. How you look at this whole process?
Yeah, the issue of construction in any country is key, you know, especially a tier one country like Liberia. Um, we've gone through the civil crisis, and now is the time to rebuild. So, you know, construction is one of those things that you can put your hands in, and that will take the country at another level. But you see, but Solomon, when you comes when you talk about construction in Liberia as well as other businesses in Liberia, the issue of trust, which happen to be one of those points that I've shortlisted, is very key. Um, a lot of people, like you said, family members or other places, relatives, if your own relative can scam you, one more about other people. So the issue of trust is very, very key. And if Liberians can be able to build that reputation, you know, that would be a good thing. So we are hoping to see the younger generation, like brother Isaiah Foko and his company, construction company. We are you know, looking forward to that repetition, you know, to be built so that we can be able to make an impact. A lot of Liberians in the diaspora will want to do those things, but again, it's all about trust, trust, trust. Because if your own family will throw you under the box, why more about people that you don't know?
Hey, oh Ben, you take it from there. See how we can go from there. Isaiah, you gotta unmute yourself. Okay. Yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Good. Isaiah, welcome back. Good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Thank you so kindly, and I want to apologize to our valuable listeners and to you, my senior brothers. I did not, think that I had something like this. I thought I already had been connected. It's my bad. I apologize.
Well, we don't blame you for that because we know the environment in which you live. Even ourselves that live in the Western world, we still have some technical difficulties that we go through. So we understand the situation.
Hey, Ben,
All right. Thank you.
A little bit. Isaiah has a partner in the U.S. who live in Iowa. He just joined us. We also want to bring him on the screen as he followed the discussion. He's Solomon Bacon too. Mr. Tour, welcome.
Yeah.
Over to you, Ben.
Thank you. I found it difficult to get on, but at least I'm on finally now.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
And
Good to have
I'm
you.
in, of course, South Dakota, brother Solomon.
Okay. South
Yeah.
Dakota. Just want to make that correction. Thank you so much and happy to have you.
So we have two Solomons on this platform today. Right?
Yeah.
You got to be very careful on who to address the Solomon name to. Well,
know,
welcome
right?
to you, brothers. Brother Solomon Bacon and Brother Isaiah Foko, welcome to you guys. You guys are our guests for today, so we
Thank
appreciate
you.
your presence in our midst here
Thank you
today.
very much.
So
Yeah.
as Brother Paulo was saying earlier on, asking question about what led you into the construction business. I think that's where we
Yeah.
were when you had a technical
Exactly.
difficulty. Did you want to complete that statement that you were making?
Yeah, sure. I really want to, because it's very key to this discussion.
Yeah.
And it's very key to our formation, right?
Yeah.
So he asked a question. I'm having a background from the finances, call it that way. And then I'm finding myself into construction. What is, the issue, or what is it that has prompted me into moving into that sector? Here is it. We've heard a lot of discouraging let's say, stories, right? All around we heard these stories. One of them, I know a lot of you are already aware of them, is that folks from overseas, will like send their money sometimes maybe to their sons and daughters, sometimes to their family, sometimes even to their schoolmates. And some of these friends are like classmates, or maybe you want to call it mate, quote unquote. All right, with the hope of having their projects being, executed as planned or as was wished by the folks overseas. It will beat your imagination that there are a lot of those projects, never even existed. They never even existed. I heard a living story of a lady who left from back, from your end there, and then when she came here, she had actually been trying to build this structure here for the family back here, particularly, the brother. So she had, but she talked to, keep it under covered, and she had been like sending money. This is my project. Anytime I come down to Liberia, this is where I'm going to be living in. Meanwhile, the actual story behind it was like a gift back to that fellow.
Okay.
So this fellow back here was receiving the money and then squandering the money, or maybe eating the money. And these stories are just all around the place. So one time, the lady decided to come down. When she came, the brother had the audacity to have even gone on at the airport, picked the lady up, brought her home. The next day, they are on their way to the project to go and go see the place. The lady had actually gone there with the intention of formally turning over this wonderful project that she has so much invested into to the brother. Sadly for her, the story turned out the other way. The fellow said he was going to use, the restroom just within that time. But before then, he had pointed, his finger to a particular house that has been so beautifully been built by another person. Wow. So the lady had gone there to say, okay, I'm the owner of the house, so I'm here to see exactly what my brother had been doing on my behalf. So the person said, what were you talking about? He said, no, the house is mine. I said, no, the house is not yours. That name you are calling, that place back there should be, your home. And that lady felt frustrated. When she later came in contact with the brother, she told the brother, say, I actually came down to formally turn over this facility back to you. All right? I wish to live here. It was my way of giving back to you. But since, in fact, stories have changed for what they are, trust me, I am dusting my heels here. And you will never find me back here. Besides, there are a lot of other stories like today. All right. Right after service, I have to speak to my, my engineer, and I asked him for us to go because there's a family overseas that asked us to go and look at the project. They were interested to know some of these structures are being built as though that, like no one lives in them. So bad up. So, but you don't even have to be an engineer to know that those structures are not good structures. Okay. All right. Just by seeing them, you know exactly what they are. So, folks back here, it may not be everybody, but folks back here, some folks back here, have kind of turned themselves into calling, maybe frustrating the efforts of whoever that may be sending them some money. I have not been in the States, but I know for a fact, I've heard some stories how you guys back there can actually labor for some, let's say, for your money. And I would think that anybody who uses, if somebody from that end decides to give you, say, like $10 or $15, you better be thanking God. You better be thanking God for such amount of money, right? So I saw that, And I have been helping people over the period of time, like I said, way back in the bank, even as far as when I was in the NGO sector. A lot of folks used to send their money through me and onto their people. So, you know, as somebody who is a visionary, sometimes you gotta look for, you know, places wherein, you know, the opportunity can land it into. So I saw that as being very key for me to move into that environment. And when I, you know, spoke it up over with few other persons, they were like, hey, we thought that you should move into it. All right. And that is how I found myself into that era. Money may be much important, but I think I also want to get back. If I can be that brother, that young guy with the combination of my friends, you know, that are around me, I know we can make some change. The story can change. I want to stress the need that there are still people back home whom you can put your trust in and you can go to bed. Your project will be executed as wished.
You can go to bed. Your project will be completed.
Yes, sir.
It's all about trust. You are telling
Yeah.
people, especially those of us that live in the diaspora, to go to
Yeah.
bed sound. That we
Go to
can
bed and
invest
sleep.
into with resources that we labor for every day and night in the Western world. Because just as you said, it's not easy to get $1 or a cent, right?
Yes, sir.
Send
Sure.
it back to people in our home country, so to speak, to help do some development that we can trust your company. We can trust you with our resources to implement those projects that we want. What a great
Yes, sir.
initiative and what a bold statement that is. That makes me to come in to ask a partner of yours, Solomon
Sure.
Baker. Solomon, are you there? Can you hear me? Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved into this construction project? We want to know about you. Solomon, we are not hearing you. If you can hear us, oh, you have to unmute yourself.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Well, not much big story about me. I'm Solomon too. I lived in Liberia for quite a while. Isaiah and I, we are not just friends who just came together, you know, with the issue of wanting to open a company.
Okay.
Foko and I have been friends from childhood. We attended elementary school together on Front Street. And when we left from there, we went SDA together. In fact, he encouraged me to get to SDA high school because of our relationship. And when we graduated from SDA, he wanted to go at the University of Liberia, and I told him, no, I can be going AME and then you be at the University of Liberia, so we have to go together. And I encouraged him. And the two of us had just been good friends from childhood.
Great.
And so when he called me to come on board on the issue of trust capital, it was nothing for me to pray about because I know the kind of person that I was dealing with. And so I embraced it with my whole heart, and that's how I got on board.
Great. Good to know that. So back to you there, Brother Foko. Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit, what are some of the mechanisms that you have in place that people can actually rely on this company to carry on projects now and even in the future? What are some of the mechanisms that you have in place that people can rely on you? Because it's all about trust, right? If you said we trust you, that's a very bold statement. What are the checks and balances that you have in place to make sure that things are done to the fullest?
Let me begin with things that I consider as being asset in this generation, okay, or in this dispensation. I know there has been a shortage of trust. There has been a shortage of reliability. There has been a shortage of integrity. There has been a shortage of reliability. The person that I have been and the principles that I have stood onto, these things that people do not see visibly are much more of a capital that any other person can look up to an individual. All right? Besides, I think I told you earlier that I have a background in finance. Okay?
Yeah.
I have a background in finance. So I think I'm well schooled into putting into place some kind of a systems and procedures to be able to handle any kind of project.
Okay.
Whether it's even $1 million project, I have the capacity to do that. Because I know I've done something like that before, but on a pro bono basis, for some good thousands of dollars. I wouldn't want to call names here. I just want to keep it like that, right? But I think I have the technical know-how as far as my understanding of finances is concerned, to be able to execute any project for that matter. And like I said earlier on, any other person who want to try this can go to bed, sound, and sleep. And you have these things being done. All right. So I also thought about, and I think I should move forward in this. I don't know if I have a question towards that. Just within the few days, we are trying to have a corporate account being open.
Okay.
All right. Wearing folks overseas. And I want to bring in, this to sort of support this point. I know folks from overseas will want to have some security towards their investment. There's somebody from on our side, maybe just by listening to what today, want to say, okay, I heard about these people. What is my security? I would like to say to you, hey, whenever I'm discussing things with our engineers, I tell them clearly, hey, this is what I wanted to do. Provide us a stage-by-stage budgeting. Stage-by-stage budgeting for any project for that matter. For example, if we're going to be building for you a 3-bedroom house, all right, we have let's say we have a budget estimate for the entire foundation. That is to tell you that if you're going to be having like 10 to 15 zeros within the foundation, we're going to be telling you that. You become aware of them, all right? And we also tell you exactly the unit price for each of these materials. So whatever they're going to be going into your foundation, this is something, you're going to be aware of. So we're not going to be creating a kind of a book or something for you that you don't have any kind of understanding about. We're going to create an environment where you'll be able to see exactly. And we can even link you with some folks back there, vendors, all right? That you can try to cross-check some of these things if they are actually what they are in terms of their prices. That is how far we go to protect our integrity that we have held onto for the period here. So if Brother Ben would ask me, say, as I have a project back there, maybe I want to build a house. My house, according to what you guys have told me, costs $60,000. We will tell you, say, hey, maybe you have not tested all in time past. Keep all of your money. Just give us a segment of it, and that segment could be the one that has to do with the foundation, right? Let's deal with the foundation. If the foundation is being satisfactorily being completed, then we can move to the next stage. But we're not going to be asking you, say, give us all of the money, and now we can be able to do that something. That may, put up some little bit of skepticism on the minds of people. So I like to take it stage by stage, and of course, you will get to know exactly where we are going. So I think from the financial standpoint, I am well versed right in there, to even if folks from that end want us to prepare some bank reconciliation statements on their behalf, we can do that. So just to sort of give them some form of assurance. And even when it comes to the project implementation or execution, we also have the knowledge to get going. And you hear me saying to you, say, go to bed and sleep, I mean it. It's from my heart.
Thank you so much, Brother Isaiah. What a joy it is to see a young man like you coming up with a business of that kind, not just to help yourself, but to be able to help the ordinary man, to be able to help people that are in need, to be able to help others that are far yonder as we find ourselves in the war in different part of the world, but we are in the position to contribute back to the homeland, to help the other people that are there, to live a better life. And you are there to help in that direction. I must congratulate you and I must commend you and your entire team for that initiative. I know time is always not in our favor. I would like to take this time to just turn it over to my colleague, Levi, who may have a few questions for you as we continue this discussion. Levi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, Brother Ben. I'm just sitting and enjoying the conversation. Again, want to say welcome,
Thank you.
Brother Isaiah, and welcome, Brother Solomon too. You have to, differentiate the Solomon on this show this evening. Again, I want to say thank you for the effort. You don't often see a lot of people getting involved with these kind of things, but my concern has to do with the market.
Yeah.
In Liberia, you got the likes of City Builder. Those are names that you're talking about. You got City Brothers. Yeah. These are companies that have strength, companies that have the financial ability. What are you doing differently? Trust Capital Corporation. What are you guys doing differently that will attract Liberians to your corporation?
Okay, so I like to answer this way again, right? I know that there are giants in the construction arena, uh, but that doesn't stop anybody who has an ambition to move into that sector. And that happens to be one of, or let's say, the Trust Capital Corporation, right? There's something that we have and that we will protect. That thing that we have that we think will gravitate people towards us has got to be our integrity. All right. Like I said earlier on, integrity has been missing in our generation. You know, by the time maybe you give somebody like $10, go bring me change. They are bringing this story. My pastor always say, if you give somebody some money, and then you now ask them for the report, they say to you, say, they start to stutter. Then I mean, just forget about it. You're not going to get that money. Stories are going to be coming towards that. So we have trust. We have the reason for anybody to rely on us. We have the integrity and we have the reliability. That anybody can say, hey, I'm going to go to bed and sleep with these people. These folks may be there, but I'm quite sure with these things that I've just listed, all right, I think they can cause anyone to move into our direction. And talking about Liberia, where you have Ego, they are my friends. I have their contacts. We can sometimes talk. Where you have Ego, where you have Sati brother, like you just listed them. I know they have some strength when it comes to their finances. We have not reached that level, but we are moving towards that. It will actually beat your imagination. Maybe the way we conducted ourselves over the period of time, there's a brother, I wouldn't want to call his name right now, who has decided to supply us with equipments. This will blow your mind. With equipment. I did not dream about this. I never ever dreamed about this. So construction materials are all available. I did not pay a cent, or we didn't pay a cent for any of those materials. When we're having a conversation and I ask you, hey brother, I want to know, why are you giving us these things? Is it that you want to become a partner or something of that sort? What is it? He told me, as I have been following you over the period of time, and I know what you stand for. This is my way of helping you. So I can boldly say on your platform that even if you want us to build a 3, 4, 5, 6, even 10-story building, we have the capacity, we have the manpower, and we have the equipment to do just that. Maybe the next time I appear on your show, I will need to bring some photos to that effect to display them. All right? But I think we have those things. So anybody, it can even be you, but a lever. If you want to build your story building, maybe I'm becoming too big, you want to build your home right here, you can go to bed. We have the equipment. All right? Besides, we have our connections with our channel. This will also blow your mind. And this is where I've come to believe that God is the one that is driving this institution. You wouldn't believe this. All right? I can assure anybody, if you give into trust and you allow us to walk, your home will be of no different to the one that you have wherever you live, whether you are in, no matter I can be joking, my friend, I say, I don't know your state, so don't blame me anyway. Whether South Dakota or just wherever you may be, your home will be no different because we have the connection. All right? Say, for example, I know that there are certain tasks, they are a little bit bigger. Here, if you go to those institutions that you just spoke about, they'll be telling you that maybe it's somewhere around $26, $25. But with our connection, buying it there and bringing it here, you will pay even half of what you were to pay here. We can assure anybody. So, there are just numerous of reasons why you have to entrust your project with Trust Capital Corporation. And you will see your project coming up as you wish. All right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I love the brand name, Trust Capital Corporation. You see, to survive in a kind of a marketing environment like like ours in Liberia, where you have those big hands, as you say, in an environment where Liberians have been the one trust was slaughtering their fellow Liberians. You just narrated some of the stories. I'm concerned, and a lot of Liberians are there concerned. Is there any collateral? Is there any plan that you put in place? Somebody will say, okay, in order to develop the trust, maybe we could look at pre-financing. What are some of the
Okay.
marketing strategies that you guys are employing to ensure that that barrier will be broken? Because believe me, I have been victimized on that.
I'm sorry. Now
I
you
have
have
been
trust
victimized
with
on
you.
that. And now if I'm victimized by my own relative,
Oh my God.
you know the saying in Liberia that if the house don't sell you, the street won't
The
buy you.
street will not buy you.
So
sorry.
why would I put my trust in a Foko if a Daniels just destroy my finances? So it has to be some kind of a marketing strategies employed that will draw me over to you because you're a new company. You do not have that reputation. You're trying to build it. So can you explain a little bit about your marketing strategies?
Okay, I think I saw my friend putting her hand up. So you want to add up to that, and maybe I can speak directly on the issue of collateral.
You
What
gotta,
he hello?
yeah.
You hear me?
Yes, we can.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Solo. I'm hearing you.
Now, I wanted to just add up on the previous question he asked about the other big hands that are in the business currently, and then he talking about why trust. One of the things that I also wanted to remind him, just to add up on what you said, is trust is not also there to charge you exorbitantly. Most of the guys who are already in the market that have the capital now, they will inflate some of their prices for the fact that you want that house to be built. Maybe your house is supposed to cost you, for example, 15,000. They may charge you like 20 or 25,000 for that house. And somebody who desperately want their house to go on, they will have to pay that money. But with trust, we're going to use that simple amount to build just exactly what you need. So I think with that, it makes a big difference between we and guys who already in the market that are inflating the price. That I just wanted to add up on what the CEO said.
Okay, so let me just jump in. I think Solo at the end of the statement was just being able to answer partially your question that has to do with why should people move into our direction. Okay, so just quite recently, and I'd like to give it a reference. Just quite recently, a lady overseas asked us to do a little piece of work for her, and then I asked her, "Hey, do you actually have a plan for this building that you want to put up?" She told me, "Oh yes, I have a plan, but the way they dealt with me, in terms of the materials that were needed, look, it will interest you when I was going through their material requisitions. A shovel that is being sold here for $5, I saw it there for $12. A digger that is being sold here sometimes maybe for $3 or maybe less, I saw it there for something almost like $10. In my mind, I felt that this was a high degree of exploitation. All right? And like I said, if maybe the reduction, our labor costs, if we can use that as one of the strategies of getting more customers to us, I think we will move into that direction. I'm very quite sure if you were to look up maybe, if you compare me right now with that of city builder, you know what I'm going to be charging you for? You will have to go ladder and begin to imagine what those figures going to be like. But if you move into us as new as we may be, or we are very flexible. All right, we're going to be very truthful to you. We're going to open your budget. We're going to discuss things with you that even you yourself, you can stay right there and see what exactly is right here. So in terms of our labor costs, I think we are very, very, very low on that. It's always negotiable, and we are there for everyone. We are there for those folks who may have all of their money. Okay, say maybe in 1 month or 2 months, I want to build my own home before I come to Liberia. Somebody can already be having their, their trip on hand. You say, I got the money, I got the 60,000, I got this, I got 30. Can you guys build my house? Say like in 2 months. We are there for such people. We are also there for other folks who want to work. Maybe I heard it. I stand to be correct. If it's not true, well, please rebuke me right here. But I heard that folks back there sometimes work for, say, like maybe every 2 months they pay them, every 2 months they pay them. And the other guys there. All right. So anybody who's watching this broadcast, if you are such a person, we are also there for you. You can begin to save your money. And this is where I was earlier on talking about, right? Where we're opening a corporate account, all right? And then we will share it with whoever that wants to jump in, all right? We will be able to, our lawyers are already working on those things, wherein we will share those papers, those legal papers. They will get notarized. You will have your copy. We have our copy. And then for every time, anybody for that matter, or maybe you may choose you want to keep your money there until it reaches at a particular stage, maybe for foundation, you say, okay, trust, I want to entrust you with this responsibility. According to our budget analysis, X amount of money will be used to raise my foundation up. So I'm sending this money over to you. We have that contract being signed, our lawyer signed, you sign your copy, and then, everybody has a copy. We can move in for those kind of people too, right? We are not only there for all of the guys that also have the money. You were talking about the question of people who want to like pre-finance. I know it's mentioned on a few of our services that we offer. Okay, anybody who's overseas, maybe just by hearing pre-finance, there may be some good ones, but there may be other people who will like, okay, maybe I'm going to flow for that. So, like I said, we have spaces for everybody, but that portion, me coming from the financial background, I want to have a serious security, right? And I'm working together with my lawyer. I already have a draft of that document. Anybody wants us to do pre-finance, which we are into, we can do. We have been having those kind of a fruitful discussion with a financial institution, and they are giving it in, to our request. As a matter of fact, they do that. That's how they make their money, right? When people go and then they do a loan to their end, that's how they make their money. All right, so we are in connection with them. If we find anybody, like Brother Levi or any other person who wants to build here, but they don't have the money yet, and they want us to do pre-financing, we are tightening the schools. So at the end of the day, they cannot become victims. We cannot also become victims in here. All right. So there are provisions that are currently being worked on, documents in that direction to address that situation. But to be honest, we have it as one of our services that we provide.
Well, I want to say thank you so very much. You attempted my question brilliantly. And I just want to encourage our folks here in the diaspora, especially you guys are on one of the biggest platforms in the study on the Liberian community, where everyone around here in Iran, where being slave in California, monitoring this platform. You got a lot of Liberians that are following us. If we want to build Liberia, we have to start trusting and empowering each other. And before I turn it over to Solo, we do not just pick up people and just bring them here. We follow their integrity. We do research on them. And because our institution is at stake, if we bring people here and they scam you, so we can rest and show you that trust is actually trusted. So don't hesitate. Call the numbers.
Thank you.
And get the connection. Back to you, Soto.
Thank you so much, Benny and Levi. I want to say thanks to our guest today. As Levi rightly said, if you have a comment, drop us a comment. We're going to read it. If you have a question, don't hesitate. Let me talk to Solomon Bacon too. Solomon, this company was launched in the U.S. in South Dakota. Is the company legal to register in the U.S.? You got to unmute yourself. You are muted.
There you go. You hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So sure it is. We're talking about trust, and like I always told my friends around, not only we are called trust, but we're also trying to build trust. For the fact that Liberians, especially those of us out of the country, have been duped when it comes to the issue of building in Liberia. So we not just wanted to, call people and say, hey, we have a company in Liberia. You can send the money to Mr. Foko or so. And so we wanted our presence to be felt in the US. And so we have it registered here. We are legal here. We have an office in the state that I live. You can call our office and talk to us. Anything that you want us to do in Liberia, you don't need to call Isaiah directly. All you need to do is to call our office here, and it will be sent right to Liberia, and your house or whatever you want to build will be built. If you think, we didn't do your job well, you can sue us right in the US here. You don't have to go to Liberia, to be looking for a lawyer there. You can take a stand against us right here in the US. So yes, we are legal in the United States.
But you're talking about lawsuit. Lawsuit, you just come on in America. Even somebody owe you $25, you can go to court for that.
Yeah.
Are you insured? Do you have insurance to cover? Let's assume I'll give your company money here to do me a project in Liberia, and our project is not satisfactory to me. If I sue you and you don't have insurance, do you have insurance?
But the thing is, you know how the law in this country works. You will not just register a company and then they just, accept it as it is. With the issue of insurance in doing a house, it's something that we will work on or maybe talk about. But I'm not sure we're even going to get to that route because working with Foko and the team we have on ground, yes, we're not going to go that route about code. But just in case it comes up, yes, we do.
Yeah, you can say we'll not go there because those are things that assure I the customer that in case my money is lost,
yeah,
I think I have a recourse.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I can go to court and still have a refund. That's security.
Sure.
Are you thinking in that direction?
Seriously, we are.
Can I just add to that, to what Solomon have just said?
Correct. Go ahead.
So the issue of security always comes about, when when there are some form of skepticism and so on and so forth. And I think I tried to partially answer that question earlier on. It is the very reason why we said that we're not just going to be jumping into collecting people's money. Say for example, if your total project costs like $30,000, all right, it's the very reason why we are not collecting the entire money. If your total project costs $30,000 and maybe your foundation costs like $5,000, hey, that's a way of giving security to whoever that want to be, partnering with us. Okay, that's a way of making you to relax, relax. So we're not going to take all of your money. We will go to bed, we will go to work and be able to work on your foundation. Like I said, if your foundation costs $4,000 or $5,000, we'll work on it. If it is being satisfactorily being completed, then we can move to the next stage. All right. So I think if we can have those projects being executed on a stage-by-stage basis, it will serve as a way of giving security, to whomever that want to be doing business with us.
Okay, let me
that's one of the ways I
correct.
can answer that question.
My project
but we can move it.
$5,000, and the foundation
Yes, sir.
is $5,000. So you are saying I
Sure.
should not give you the entire $25,000, but I should give you $5,000 to do my foundation. If I'm satisfied, then we can move
to the next
phase
stage.
2. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
sure.
much. Isaiah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I have a question. My question has to do with you being involved with a previous company called ABC.
Yes, sir.
Are you still
Sure.
with this company? If not,
Oh,
why did you leave? Were you fired?
oh no. All right, that's a very good question, and I really wish that that question were going to come here. I see another person trying to. Doki, we'll get to your question very soon. All right. So here is it. My desire to have always been of help to a lot of people landed me into ABC. All right, landed me into ABC. All right, I really didn't want to speak about it, but I think since we are on this platform, it's an important thing for us to talk about.
It's integrity. Integrity.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a reality.
Of course, and I will give you play-by-play, eras, where you can be able to know about it. So here's it. I was called on board to organize ABC, get it to be formed, up to the stage to where it was. We had a very good working relationship. I was Colombo. And I should say to anybody who is corporately inclined that they got what they call a close corporation and an open corporation. All right. A closed corporation is where maybe, for example, you may have a husband, a wife, or children, just like that. An open corporation is where you have a lot of folks. All right. Everybody can go right down there and buy your shares or something of that sort. All right. ABC was a closed, or yeah, it's a closed corporation. So I was called on board to do a specific piece of job. Now there was a point in time that we reached, and my services were no longer needed, right? Yeah. So and I was asked, so okay, Azan, thank you for being of great help to us. You have done a great job, and this can be proving when the dedication of the home was being done. That news, if any of you have the chance, you can go online. It was broadcast. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why we have to move into this direction, because of the integrity that we have maintained over the period of time. All right. So it went loud and wide that the couple had not seen an individual of this kind wherein they could execute this gigantic project with honesty, with integrity. All right. So we did not have anything like being fired. You can only fire an individual if you have kind of employed them, right? But all of my services were on pro bono basis. My desire to be of help to anybody. But see, even you right there, if you ask me today, say if I have the opportunity, I'll tell you, hey, I can do it. If I don't have it, maybe I won't. So, in a nutshell, we just reached at the point wherein my services were no longer needed, and we parted ways. No bad feelings. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for the clarity. I think that was important because you stress on this issue of trust.
Sure.
People need to know exactly what are the trend of events from where you work in the past to where you are today and where you intend to go. So we just want to
have a very good relationship.
So if anybody want to do business with you, know exactly that. Yes, I won't say part, but I had a meeting and my tax was completed, so I have to move on to something else.
Yeah.
So do you still have a cordial relationship with the founder? You talk about close cooperation, talking about the couple that run ABC?
Oh yes, we do. Even the children. Even the children sometimes call me and say, hey, hello, how you doing? I say, oh yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, as a matter of fact, even yesterday we met. Sometimes we meet on some occasions and we say, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? Everything is fine. All right. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. It just
okay,
to say that, gentlemen, this program is a 1 hour program. We are
oh my God.
And we'd like to take the comment of our viewers, and maybe you'll be able to answer them.
Sure.
After we take just our closing comment, and we have to go. Maybe we'll come back here again and have a further discussion. Man, can you take out the comment from our viewers?
Sure. Let's see what we have here. Comments from our viewers. So we have brother, let's see, you can put him on the screen here. It said, Mr. Foko, you are telling us, this is from Doki Do, okay, and saying that, Mr. Foko, you are telling us that you can assure us paying even half of the market value of a commodity in Liberia. Are you telling us that you are also an importer? If yes, how can you be a new importer? How can you, being a new importer, afford to pay half of the ordinary price when giants in the market are crying about tariff, freight costs, and other costs related to importing? What say ye?
Okay, so let me move in right here. The reason why I said I made that statement is because I once imported. Okay, I should be very clear about this. I had a trip out of here, and I brought some goods, passed through that very free port of Monrovia, and I've done the cost analysis for commodities that have been sold here, vis-a-vis with those ones at our end. All right. So if you were to like pay for this cap, and I should be exposing this cap, this is ABC cap. If you were to pay for this cap here for say like $10, the market price for this cap in let's say in China or elsewhere, China to be specific because there where I have connection, it will be somewhere around like $2. So if you bought this cap, for example, $2, and then you calculate, you involve your shipment costs and clearing at the port and everything, sum up to say like $5. It's from that background I'm speaking from because I've done importation before, right? Okay. So yeah, I mean, Doki, you can go to bear on that. All right. Even before how they call it, you get your commodity Doki, we will be able to bring those prices over to you. We just did that car recently, even for our very selves. When we're trying to do a launch, I paid for some t-shirts here, and they were far expensive to those ones. And those ones that are here were really much of substandard. Now we got some really beautiful t-shirts. I like to show them, but we don't have the time. Really, really, really beautiful t-shirts. You wash them, they are still standing strong. We got caps here. You don't find these kind of caps here. And we pay for little or nothing for them. Here, they don't even make this kind of caps. So both the purchase and the freight, far cheaper, far cheaper. Where I'm coming from with that whole analysis, yeah.
So, Brother Foko, that brings me to the question of a follow-up questions to say, do you have international partners that are working with you in terms of this company?
Yeah. I should say that very clear. For the fact that I have
something that you want to reveal to us at this point so people can kind of build more of the trust that you're talking about?
Oh yes. And I think I talked about that maybe just in passing. So we have this partner, who's with us when it comes to those materials. Currently, in fact, we're supposed to be executing a project. We started a particular project, by the time we reached the roof level, he told us, hey, let's start right there. Let's give that project like, our signature stuff. All right. So as I speak to you, the materials are on their way. If you were to move to Seti Brother or maybe to Eagle right here, if you go and go ask for jacuzzi, I'm being honest with you, some jacuzzi have been sold here for something around like 3,500. Some are even 4,000. It will blow your mind when you get to know the prices back then. And this is where I would like to talk to our audience, those are followers and those are later. You can go to bed. All right. If you want us to do that analysis for you, we will get back here and get you the prices, get you the quote, yourself will see them, and we'll also get you the quote from overseas, China. If I say China, I'm talking about standard, I'm not talking about the other something, right? Real good materials. We will make your home nothing different from what you are living in the US. All right. So we have those international connections that can help in your building materials. Maybe the only thing you'll be looking for right here, be looking for sand, be looking for rocks, be looking for water, and maybe be looking for plane. But even if you want Chinese seating or maybe you want POP, we got men with specialties. We got guys that can get you a project that when you come back here, maybe you want to say, hey, I just want to stay right here. Because your home will be no different to what you have in the US. We have that capacity to do that. And we have the connections.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you kindly.
All right. Back to you there, Solo.
We just want to go to Olivia for a Spartan comment. I guess, Ben, that's your last question, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Time is already against us, so we're good.
Well, it's unfortunate that time is not in our favor, but it was wonderful having you, Brother Foko and Brother To. We will be hoping to see you here another time, and that you will come and really show, not only to say, but to show some of those great projects that you've implemented that our Liberians in the diaspora can be able to trace, to know that it is trust that did those work, not the fake one that you talk about, people taking picture and posting
My,
it. Um,
our credibility is on the line.
yeah, I just want to maybe in the next minute, can you just talk a little bit about substandard work? Now, you're talking about two things. You're talking about a little cheaper, and we're talking about standard. How assured can your audience be that if you're giving them some cheap, maybe less price, you're going to also give them that standard or quality product
Quality.
or work that is so desired? Because too many cheap things, we also know that they are not guaranteed things. And the way you're talking China, so what level of assurance can you give to the audiences that are following us this afternoon or this evening, wherever you may be, or maybe this morning?
Okay, so when I try bringing in about getting goods from China, China has two markets. I was there. China has two markets. China will give you anything that you want. All right, even the very iPhone, and I know all of you down there using iPhones. So if you just need a substandard iPhone, you'll get it. There's a market there for it. When in fact when you go there, they will ask you, do you want China or you want guarantee? And of course, if you are going for guarantee, that's something that you can go to bed. All right. So and tying it those commodities and aligning it with our name, believer, my team and I, we will not settle for substandard. All right. We will not settle for substandard something. By the way, beside me having that, let's say, the reasons for which people should trust me, I should also say on this platform that I'm also a pastor, right? I'm also a pastor, so you got every reason to trust us. We will not settle for anything less or anything substandard. We will tell you what it is, but on using our connections. And if you were to get those standard materials here, of course, you will get them on a higher price. We are telling you those quality materials that you will get here maybe for 15,000. Hey, you will get them from that end for a lesser price. I want to share this particular story with you. I remember, sometimes we're running for a kind of a dare zing, and a lot of you know what a dare zing is because it's very common at your end there. Here it's being sold for something like $12, either 12 or $13, something there. Last time I checked. In China, that same old quality in China that has been sold here for $12, $13, $15. In China, you will get it for $4. Here's what I'm saying. You will get it for $4. Sometimes, maybe $5, depending the kind of the grade. If you take it for $4, go to bed. Go to bed. That's something you will zing, and it will last you there for almost forever. All right. But if you were to take it here, so talking about the difference in between right there. If you were to buy it for say like $12 or even $13, and then somebody is giving it to you back there for say like $4 or 4.5, even if you were to pay say like $3 or even $4, you are able to save a lot from there. So Trust Capital Corporation is also here to help you save. It's here to help you save. So if you were to spend on a particular project, say for example, maybe $15,000, hey, come over. Trust is here for you, and trust is here to stay.
Thank you. Solo, you can pick it up from your end.
We got one caller on the line. We want Ben to just squeeze in our caller as we take parting comment from Solomon and Isaiah. Ben?
Sure, we have a call on the line, and his brother Joel Bimba calling from New
That's my childhood
Jersey.
friend.
Joel, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello to everybody there, and thank you for the show. Happy to hear my brother Isaiah on there. And like you say, as a Liberian lawyer, I'm happy to see that my brother is doing this initiative, and I can tell anybody I know his integrity, and I know his ability to deliver. And so I'm urging anyone you have in your business to really support his endeavor. The only caution I will have to tell him, he has to make sure he himself will be heading problem can come about. How do you maintain that standard and maintain the integrity? But I will encourage anybody listening to this show. I have trust and confidence that he can deliver accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Joel. There is an endorsement from a lawyer based in the USA, going strictly to Isaiah Foko, that you are a man. So take it, fly with it.
We are humble. We are humble.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Back to you,
Joel. We are humble.
Thank you so much, Brother Joel, for that attestation. Isaiah is a man of guarantee, is a man of trust. Let me come back to Solomon. Solomon, we got to go tonight. Time is fast spent. I know we have an office in the United States. If anybody in the U.S. want to reach out to the company, what that means is that they can reach out to you in the U.S. You got on mute.
There you go. So we have our email address, or that you can reach us. The company also has its own Facebook account that you can use, or you can also call me on my number that I'm also using for the company of 605-809-5042. Our address is 1013 South Grandview Avenue, 24 South Dakota. So you can use any of those means, and you can even use my personal Facebook page and also get to me. But before going, I think somebody raised a questions about my integrity. They wanted to know. Do I just said it? Isaiah is a friend and brother, and I don't think he will want to use anyone who, has some tainted character. Where I live in the U.S. is a little city, not too big. We know each other yet. In fact, the reason why a trust capital launch in the city was so massive is because of the little character we have built in the city. Sometimes, especially on the platform, I don't like to talk much about my position because I like for people to judge me based on my character, but I also serve as an ordained minister in the state of South Dakota, specifically in Sioux Falls. So we have had some integrity. Some friends back home will attest to it. They send their money over here for us to buy in cars, and they were excited for us buying no cars and sending it right back to them in the U.S. or in Liberia rather. So we have done what we could when it comes to integrity. A lot we can explain on it. So trust capital is in the U.S. You all know that when it comes to those who are victimized when in terms of money and other things, that people who live in the United States. So we have the office here open 24/7. You can call us, and we are here to work whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, Solomon. They control. I think the whole company as also minister. Y'all gotta bring some let's talk about the company in Liberia. Somebody in Liberia want to contact you. Where's your office? How can you be located? And how can they reach out to you?
Okay, so like the brother just quite said, we have a company page that is Trust Capital Corporation at gmail.com. That's one of the ways to get over to me. You can also get over to me through my personal email, but I will encourage people to move over to Trust Capital Corporation, at gmail.com. I also have two WhatsApp numbers. One will be +231 77 894 5757. +231 77 894 5757. Another one is +231 5555 482895. Those are my numbers. By the time you hit us, you will get us. And I should say this, right? I don't easily go to bed. Maybe our focus is shifted towards those that are in the diaspora, right? So by the time I'm about to go to bed, or let's say it's time, you see, my people are not going to bed. So I am like up. Sometimes I can be talking with some folks overseas. Sometimes it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I remember one particular time I went to bed, it was almost 5 o'clock. We were still talking, with some folks overseas who want us to take on their project. I know we are kind of heading, towards the closure of the show. I should also say to you that we are in discussion with some folks in the Europe side. They too heard about us, they heard about our integrity, and they say, hey, Azar, I think we can also help you. And I don't just know how things are working. I think we can help you by establishing another satellite office at this end here. So we are working from the background, and maybe by the time we are done with that, we'll be able to come on your show again. We'll ask you kindly to give us your platform that we can speak a little bit about establishment toward, let's say, within the Europe side. So discussions are on the way for that.
Thank you so much, Isaiah. And time is our biggest enemy. We have to go home tonight. And to those who follow us, if you have a question, or maybe you want to reach out to Trust Company, you can also reach out to us. We'll have you connected with them. The numbers for the US is right there. The address is right there for the US. 1013 South Greenview Avenue, South Dakota. You'll be able to get that. The number is there for Liberia, the US as well, and Liberia. Just follow this program, and we are very sure, very certain that Trust Company is a big company that you can trust. And they are there to make the difference. They are not just coming into this business because they want money. They are there to alleviate our fear and rebuild trust in Liberia. I have a very soft spot for Liberian business people who are trying to be very genuine and sincere. Until then, we want to say thank you so much, all those who join us tonight. And we'll be back on Sunday, gentlemen. Have a good night from our end.
Thank you very much. It was an honor being with you. I'm grateful.
You make impossible possible.